Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zadora, Century 21 Lemac Realty, the Z Team.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good.
That's well enough.
When you're talking about community things and things that are going on, today is Flag Day.
Flag Day.
And you missed that in your soliloquy as you were going on about things.
Flag Day. Scooter, did you know it's Flag Day?
Flag Day, yeah.
14th.
It's on the calendar of events.
It's on the calendar.
There's a lot of stuff on there, so it probably got lost. There, it takes care of that. But today's Flag Day, so we remind everyone of that.
There you go.
The flag kind of gets caught up in things that it probably shouldn't be, but it is the symbol of our
Great nation.
of our nation.
It is.
It shows flies throughout the world.
Yep.
So
And it always flies on top.
that's right. That's right. So there are things you're supposed to do and different things for how to get it to half staff. You got to run it all the way up first, and then we can bring it to half. And there's protocols for this. It's pretty serious business. We don't always treat it as such, but it is part of our fabric, as it were, as Americans.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean, you remember that.
Yeah, okay. Flag Day.
I agree with that. Back when I'm a construction company, we used to have a huge flag out front. And let me tell you, if that light up front ever went out, I would have people there first thing in the morning to let me know.
Yeah. Oh,
Your
yeah.
light's off on that flag. If it's out, it needs to be lit.
That not supposed to be in the dark.
Well, it doesn't have to be. It has to be illuminated so you can see that it's there in the dark.
Yeah.
But most people do. They put, if you're gonna put it up at night, you run it all the way down. And I remember the first time we came over the hill, like when you're coming from Walmart, coming down 62 here, and you come up that hill, and you kind of it was at night, and you get that layout of Mount Home and the lights and the hospital and everything else. But there was a ginormous flag by NATCO there standing out, and it's just one of those things that you go, wow, that's really cool. And that's one of the first things when one of my first memories of coming here. So,
That's cool.
yeah, it is. I have some good news.
Okay.
The Senate and the House are going back into session to get things straightened out with game and fish and some other little things. And the governor has decided that as long as they're there, that they should finish up some of the tax work that they're going to do. And so the income taxes are going down. And I don't know the percentages Jack told us, but I don't know what they are. But for me, for real estate, for you as homeowners, the amount of tax on the homestead is going up to $500. So that's a pretty nice hit. You'll be able to take that. You'll get that right off of there. But you have to go, and when you buy a home, you have to go to the assessor's office and let them know that you're the new owner, bring proof who you are, yada, yada. They don't just automatically give it to you. You have to apply for that. Just once, but you have to apply for that. So
What is the current exemption?
I'm going to say it's 300. It had
it's-
been 200, and they raised it to two. It would have been 250, and they raised it to 3, I believe.
And now there is
And now it's going to
5?
go to 5. So yeah. So that's a nice little. I won't call it a gift. That's not what it is. But it's you're cutting down on the amount of property taxes that you're paying. So for the property owners, you get it for your primary residence. If you got a couple homes or you got rent houses, things like that, you don't get it for that, but you get it for your primary residence. So that's a nice little kick. Buy an extra cup of coffee, buy a new flag. I don't know, whatever.
Just keep kicking the horse there,
Well,
Bob.
just kind of. I had a cold all week, Bob. It's a little slushy up there. Believe me.
Things been good? You been sick? Not been
We had
feeling well?
not feeling well. We were kind of down all week and lost the week, and we still kept going. We put some deals together and checking out how things are going. And one of the things that did come up when we have clients and when you're putting a deal together, when you're getting offers on a house, whether with the buyer or the seller. You're with them a lot during those couple days where you're negotiating and trying to get it all hammered out. So boom, okay, now we're under contract, and then you're getting them set up with home inspectors and what to be expecting next and what's going to happen, and you get that all done. And then you're waiting for the appraisal to come in, and then you get the appraisal, and that may take a week or two. So you may not be calling them 3 times a day, and you kind of let it go. And then there's that nothing. And the appraisal comes in, everything is done, everything is good to go. The title insurance is done, and then you got 2-3 weeks where there's really nothing, except whenever, and you don't have a closing. You got a closing date, but you don't have time yet because the closing companies run within a couple of days, setting their times. They don't project them out 3 weeks in advance. So there's kind of like nothing, and then the client kind of feels like you just forgot them. Because they were used to that, whether it's attention or not, but just being contacted constantly
Daily
like that.
interaction.
Exactly. And so being down for the week, I wasn't as good with staying in touch with people because I wasn't really, God's honest truth, I wasn't really thinking about everybody else. And I had somebody call and say, "We okay?" It's like, "Oh yeah, we're fine." I'm not, but yeah, everything's fine. The deal's going forward, and I kind of lost track of that you do in keeping in touch with our people is what's so important of what we do and what makes us who we are. And so I apologize if I didn't call or I didn't send a text, something, just keeping in touch with people. So just part of the business, and we move on from there.
Life happens.
Yes,
matter
sir.
what.
Yeah, other life happens besides real estate sometimes, and it just kind of sneaks up on you.
So I had somebody ask me yesterday. You heard us talking earlier about the devastation at Briarcliff
Yes.
and making the trip down. Somebody asked me if Jason has taken his drone down there yet.
He was doing some flying here, and there's a lot of people, and the FAA was still out there, and the FEMA has been out. They've been doing a lot of work. So you really want to stay out of people's way.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, for any of us. There's a lot of people flying very low, so you really want to be careful. We kind of we may let it kind of clear out a little bit more and see. It may be easier to see. I know we were in Marion County last night at a committee meeting, and Jason Stump, the judge over there, he had been out with the governor and things when she had been out there, and it was kind of interesting to hear his side of how she reacted to how Marion County reacted, how people just jumped in and started doing things, By the time they got here, which was, 2 days later, people were already burning stuff down and they were clearing stuff out. And he says, "Ma'am," he says, "these people will throw up tents and there may not be as many bunnies and squirrels as there were running around a week before, but they're going to take care of themselves and they're going to move forward."
Right.
And she was really, really impressed with seeing the devastation and how people were handling it, how they were reacting to it, how they were helping their neighbors out, how they were just, okay, this happened, what are we going to do to fix it? And I'm sure the same thing went on in Baxter. The scopes are a little different. We're a little more rural in a lot of places, but the damage nonetheless was just as devastating to the people that are involved. There's no question about that.
Right.
So FEMA's got a permanent office set up right now in Snow. I hope that's right, but you can call the judge's office and they'll tell you there. And they're looking at like longer term things. They're trying to figure out for like FEMA money. To get that, there's a lot of places where the trees are down in these little creeks that may be dry right now, but come September, October, when with the rains and things, all that leaves and branches and debris is going to get washed down into the low water bridges and be jamming them up and trying to get them out of there. And they can't really do anything because right now they're all on like private property. And you can't really bring crews in there and saying, okay, we're going to cut this up for you, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a catch-22. You got an issue, but you can't the county can't deal with it. And like I said, I'm sure Liddy's dealing with the same thing over here. So they're trying to, they've been photographing that, trying to document what is going, when they know it's going to happen. They're also going to be, if you can get the debris out to the street in some way, shape, or form, they'll take it all. You know, maybe not tomorrow, but they'll get to all of it. And his road and bridge guys are really, really good. So, you know,
It's going to affect the market.
it is. It is. We had a resort that we had that we had listed to sell, and had it under contract. And they had so much damage that when in trying to deal with they know what it's going to involve, getting involved with the insurance companies and the time and everything else. So they pulled it off the market, and they're done. They're going to deal with the problem that's in front of them, and they're going to get it all fixed up, and we'll come back and revisit when they're done. And it's a very traumatic. You got years of your life tied up in a business, and to see it all literally topsy-turvy all over, that's a tough thing.
Yep.
For anybody. It's bad enough when you come and you see your house, but to see 7 houses that are yours, with either roof damage or some maybe lifted off the foundations and things. I mean, those are pretty serious tornadoes that came through. We had 2 came through. There was actually 2 that came through Marion. It's going to be tough. It's going to take a while. There's no question.
Yep. We need to look at your numbers.
This week in real estate. There we go. There were 45 new listings came on the market. 4 commercial properties, 14 parcels of land, 26 homes came on the market. They range in price from $44,000 to $795,000, and 3 of them are taking backups. There were 38 sales, 1 commercial property, 6 parcels of land, 31 homes sold. They ranged in price from $50,000 to $900,000. The average sale price this week was $246,000 with 78 days on market. That came out to a total of $8.2 million in residential real estate closed this past week. 6 properties expired. There were 16 residential price changes, and we're down to 41 residential pendings waiting to close. Currently, there's 314 homes listed on the MLS. Those are homes you can walk in and buy. They're not encumbered in any way. Year to date, for 2024, there's been 455 homes have sold. The average sale price this year is $242,000 with 95 days on market. Last year, there had been 452 homes that sold. Average sale price last year was $219,000 with 89 days on market. A lot of the price increase this year has to do with there's a number of big houses sold, homes over $1 million, $1.5 million. Last year, there had been 1. So year to date. And a number of homes that were in the 9s and 8s, all of that adds up. And the bottom continues to get pushed up a little bit. Homes, starter type homes where kids would be able to come in and get them. Those prices are getting pushed up because people are coming in and paying cash and things like that, and they'll bid them. So if you have any real estate questions, if you have any real estate issues, if you're looking to buy, sell, that's what we do. We do this all day, every day. I'm back on my feet. I'm not laying here on the sofa going, and coughing. It was a bad week.
How do you say that? There you go.
Just, because that's what I felt, It's kind of like when you roll in front of a house, sometimes you go, ooh, and then sometimes you go, oh. And we get that from people.
The ooh's a lot better.
It's much better. Yes, it is. But call my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. Check out the website, retiredtoarkansas.net. We've got the whole MLS on there. There's a bunch of other information. But best thing you can do is call or text her, 870-405-0793.
It's been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. 870-405-0793 is her number. Retiredtoarkansas.net is her website. They're the Z Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. We'll be back with Friday Sports in just a moment.